Hey guys, so for today's video, I just really wanted to do one last super bright, fun set for the summer, so that is what I'm going to be doing here today. So for this set, I'm using the colors Forest, Orchid Glam, and Electric Denim from Madam Glam, Electric Green from Nail Reserve, and Neon Heat and Spiked Lemonade from Ball Pit. And actually, when it came to the pink nail, I ended up having to redo it because I didn't like how it originally came out. And I think I switched from using Florist to using Beach Brat from Ball Pit because that pink was just a little bit more bright and neon. So to start off, I'm just painting this nail with Florist. I did 2 coats of that and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. Now I'm taking this blooming gel from Born Pretty and applying a thin layer of that to the entire nail before going in with my dotting tool and electric green and just dotting on some random dots onto the nail. And then once those dots spread out as much as I wanted them to, I did go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. And this video is a little choppy and like kind of all over the place because originally I was talking as I was doing this because this was like a freestyle and I was kind of giving you guys like a behind the scenes kind of look at how I go about doing freestyles. And like what I do when I don't really know what exactly I'm going to be doing, but then the audio from that ended up getting all messed up, and now I'm having to do a voiceover, and I did a lot of editing and chopping out a lot of stuff because there was just a lot of me talking, so it is a little choppy and all over the place. But here I am just going in and painting the rest of the bases for the nails. I did 2 coats of every color and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. So like I said, this was a freestyle set and I didn't know what exactly I was doing. I just knew I wanted something super bright and colorful to end the summer with. Originally I was going to just do one individual nail, so start with that pink nail, get that completely finished, and then move on to the next nail and do that. But then I decided that that was going to take a lot longer, so I was kind of bouncing back and forth between everything. So here I am, just going in and doing the bases first, getting those colors laid down, and then figuring out what I'm going to do on top later. On this yellow nail, I decided I wanted to try like a snake print design. I had never done that design before, so I wanted to try it out. So I applied a thin layer of blooming gel first, and then I'm taking my dotting tool and that orange and just doing some little like dots down the middle, and then I go down the sides kind of in between those dots that I did. Let that spread out a little bit and then cure that for 60 seconds. So the original idea for this purple nail, I was going to do 3D chrome blobs. That is why I'm applying a matte top coat right now. But after I sat there and was trying to figure out how I was going to do everything, I kind of realized I didn't want to do the chrome anymore and wanted to do glow in the dark instead. So to do the chrome blobs, I was going rhinestone glue from Nail Couture and just do some little blobs onto the nail and then paint them with Spiked Lemonade and then apply the chrome on top of that. But then, I don't know, when I was sitting here like explaining what I was going to do and what I was envisioning for it, I realized I didn't want to do the chrome anymore and I wanted to do a glow in the dark. So I put some of that rhinestone glue onto my palette and then mixed in some yellow glow powder. And then I didn't like how clear and like jelly it was looking with just the glow powder. Because it is going on such a dark base, I knew it was kind of like the color was kind of going to get lost a little bit in there. So I did end up mixing in some spiked lemonade to make that a little more opaque and to make sure that the yellow was going to stand out on the purple. So to do the blobs, I'm just taking my dotting tools, scooping up some of that rhinestone mixture, and just making some little blobs on the nail. I do wish I would have made these blobs a lot bigger instead of making them kind of small, but I realized as I was doing this that I didn't mix up quite enough of this mixture, and I didn't really want to mix any more up, so the little dots ended up being kind of small. It ended up working out in the end, but like I said, I would have liked it a lot better if they were a bit bigger. Also, as I was doing this, I was saying like this nail was starting to remind me of Barney with the like purple and yellow going on. And then after I got all of these blobs on, I did flip the nail upside down for a little bit to make them a little more 3D and stand out a little more from the nail. And then I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And I was feeling like this nail was kind of plain with it just being some 3D like blobs on the nail. So I decided to take this silver metallic paint that I have and kind of like go in between the blobs and like connect them with that. So I start out by going around them and just outlining them, and then afterwards I will like connect those little like outlines together. I will say with this metallic paint, I did get it off of Amazon. And you want to make sure you mix it up really well before using it, because it does separate a lot. Like the pigment and whatever the base is separates really badly, and if you don't mix it up, you're gonna have like splotchy lines. So make sure you mix it up really well. Also, this stuff is super thin and like watery, and it makes it really easy to make it too thick. So you want to be super careful and like mindful of what you're doing and not make your lines or whatever you're doing with this color super thick, because it will wrinkle up, and it wrinkles up really badly. Like it's super wrinkled and like bubbled up. So like I said, you want to make sure that you are doing a super thin line, or like if you're painting the entire nail with it, you want a super thin layer. It does settle very nicely and level out very nicely, and it has this super shiny chrome like mirrored finish. But once you add a top coat on, it does dull it out. You don't have to apply a top coat to it because it does cure without a sticky layer, but I recommend putting a top coat on it, because if you don't, it will scratch off very easily. So it's kind of like if you want it super shiny and chrome with that mirrored finish, then don't apply the top coat. But if you don't apply the top coat, it's going to scratch off immediately, and it doesn't take much to scratch it off at all. So if you don't want it to scratch off, then you're going to have to apply the top coat. But if you apply the top coat, you're losing that super shiny mirrored finish. So you have to decide if you don't mind that it gets scratched off, or if you don't mind that you're not having that mirrored finish in the end. Also, this stuff is really hard to wipe off if you mess up. So if you mess up and you need to wipe it off with some alcohol, it's going to spread over the entire nail before it comes off. So just keep that in mind as well. If you do mess up, it's going to like spread all over the nail before it fully comes off. Like I said, after I traced those little blobs, I did go in and connect them. The outlines on the blobs are still wet because I wanted it all to be smooth and like level out into each other. And like I said, this product does level very nicely and like blend very nicely together. I didn't want you to see like exactly where the lines connected into the outlines, if that makes any sense. Sometimes if you put one line down with gel polish and then you cure that and go over it with another line, it will have like a little ridge there where it connects, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to all be one smooth level fluid line there. So I waited until I was completely finished with that before curing it for 60 seconds. So for the blue and the orange nail, I decided I wanted to try like the sugared effect or the sweater effect, whatever you want to call that. So I'm just going in with my shiny top coat because I do want all these nails to be top coated shiny and not matte. So I'm applying that first, cure that for 60 seconds, and now I'm going in and just doing some random like design on there. So on the orange one here, I'm doing blue, and on the blue one, I think I do purple. I did end up having to do 2 coats of the design that I'm doing because, as you can see here, it isn't showing up as brightly as I wanted. I did do 1 coat first, cured that, and then did the second coat, and then on the second coat, I didn't cure it because for that second coat is when I'm going to pour on the acrylic powder, but I will explain that more when I get there. So I'm just drawing this random like line design, and I just kept messing with it until I got it the way that I wanted it to look. Like I said, once I got this first layer done, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. So like I said, I am going to be doing that like sweater sugared effect, whatever you want to call it. And I have never done that before, simply just because I don't like the feeling of a loose glitter on the nail that's not top coated or that's not encapsulated. Like the texture of that just gives me the heebie-jeebies, and then like it gets caught on stuff and like stuff gets caught on it, and like it just bothers me so much. I'm always impressed though of people who can and do like having that on their nails and will go, you know, several weeks with that on their nails, because I'm just like, that would send me into a rage just having that on my nails like that all the time for an extended period of time. But I figured since this is just a press-on set and it was just going to be on for a couple seconds for pictures and videos, that I'd be able to manage with it. And I wanted to try it out because, like I said, I've never tried it out before. I do like the look of it, but like I said, the texture thing is just not my cup of tea. so to do this effect, I'm just taking this old C&D clear acrylic powder that I have. This stuff is really old because I got it when I was in cosmetology school, which was in like 2016, I want to say. And I just remember using it and it was not very good, but anyhow, I figured it was going to be good for this because I'm just dumping it right onto some gel polish. So like I said, I did that second layer of the blue, kept it wet, and now I'm taking my cuticle pusher and just dumping that acrylic powder right on top. I have seen people say to do 2 layers of the acrylic powder, so dump the acrylic powder on once, let it settle a little bit, and then do a second layer of the acrylic powder. So that's what I did, and that's how those nails came out. So I had pulled out those like silver pearl things to bring in some more silver into this set to go with the silver that's on that purple nail. And originally I was going to add some of those to this pink nail, but then I decided I didn't want the silver to be like right next to each other. So I went ahead and decided to do some like chrome thing on this nail. So I'm just taking that rhinestone glue from Nail Couture, doing a little design on that, cure that for 15 seconds, apply the chrome powder, which this chrome powder is one of those like chameleon chrome powders, so it shifts from like pink to green. And I actually ended up hating this nail. I thought it was so ugly once I got this chrome design done. I also felt like it didn't really fit with the rest of the set. So I did end up redoing this nail, and I redid it off camera because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. I did still want to keep the pink and green background, but what I was going to do on top of it, I didn't really know. So like I said in the beginning, I did end up switching the pink that I used because I just felt like this pink here wasn't bright enough for the rest of the set. I did end up using Beach Brat from Ball Pit, like I said, just because it was a lot more brighter and neon. And as you can see here, like this nail just does not go with the rest of the set, and it just looks so ugly, and I don't know what I was thinking with that design. But then I moved on to this last nail here, and I'm applying a strip of that rhinestone glue straight down the center of the nail, and then I go in with my top coat, apply that right on top of that, and then I take some of those silver pearls and just place those straight down the center of this nail. Again, like I said, to bring in some more silver, that way it's a little more cohesive and there's not just this one nail with some random silver on it and there's not silver anywhere else on this set. I didn't want to add too much to this because I did still want to kind of see that like snake print design that I did, although honestly, it's not really looking very snake print. It kind of is giving me more like giraffe, specifically Jeffrey the giraffe, you know, the little mascot for Toys R Us. But anyhow, after I got those placed down, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And then I went ahead and top coated this purple nail with my shiny top coat and then cured that for 60 seconds. And because everything else already had a top coat, I didn't need to go in again and apply a top coat to any of those nails. And apparently I also top coated this nail. I don't know why, because like I said, I hated it even before I applied the top coat. I guess maybe I thought if I added the top coat it might make it look a little better, but it definitely didn't. Like I said, I redid this nail off camera, and it looks a lot better in the finished product. And this is how they came out. I'm actually really happy with how this set came out. It's not the most cohesive set. They kind of don't really go together, but at the same time they do, because they're all kind of different and they're super bright and fun. And I don't know, I just really like sets like this where each nail is kind of different and like it doesn't really go, but at the same time it kind of does go. This middle nail here, as you can see, is different. Like I said, I used a different pink, and then I just took the rhinestone glue and did a little like squiggles going all the way down the nail. I feel like it looks a whole lot better than the other one. I also really like how you can really see those dots that are going on the base there. I felt like with that other design it kind of took away from that, and I still wanted to really be able to see those green dots. And I will say that orange nail and that blue nail with the like sugared sweater effect going on, I think they look cool, but texture wise and like feeling them, I absolutely hate them, because like I said, the whole texture thing with that grosses me out. I don't like how it feels, and I don't really mind texture on the nails. So like that middle nail and the pointer nail and even the pinky nail, like I don't mind how those feel, but they're like smooth texture. Whereas those other two nails are a rough texture. It gives me the same feeling as like, what is it, microfiber towels, when you touch those and it like sticks to your hand and it like just feels gross. Like it gives me the same feeling as those towels do. So yeah, I really don't like the whole texture aspect of it, but I do really like how they ended up looking. So I think my favorite nail of this entire set is this orange and yellow one. I don't know, I just think it looks really cool with the like snake print and then those silver pearls on top. It's kind of like giving snake, or like prehistoric snake maybe, or like a mutated snake from like a sci-fi film with the pearls, and like I don't know, or even kind of like dinosaur-ish. You know how some dinosaurs had like those ridges and like lumps on going down their spines or whatever. I don't know, I just think that's really cool and I really like how it came out. And then the purple nail here, it, I don't know really how I feel about it. Like, it's weird and doesn't really make sense design-wise, but also it kind of looks a little cool. As you can see here, I'm showing like how dull that silver gets after applying that top coat. Like, you don't have that mirrored finish anymore. So like I said, you have to decide if you want the mirrored finish with it chipping off, or if you want the dull look and it's not going to chip off. But honestly, I like this nail because it's kind of giving me like alien egg type of vibes. Like those lumps are the eggs, and then like that silver part is what they put the eggs in to like incubate them. And then here I am showing those two pink nails to show you, you know, the before and after and the differences in the pink that I used. Like I said, the pink that I ended up using in the end was a little bit brighter and more neon than the original pink I used. Also, the green showed up a lot better on that other pink than the first pink that I used. And just overall, design-wise, I feel like the new nail looks a lot better than the original nail. And then here's that purple nail glowing in the dark. It looks really cool. I kind of wish I added another glow in the dark element somewhere on here, so that way it wasn't just this one nail glowing. It's kind of weird, but it's all right. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this set. I love how bright and colorful it is. I definitely feel like this was a good set to end the summer with. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.